Hello and welcome to another episode of the Construction Corner podcast. I'm Dylan, I'm your host. And guys, it's been a while. If you forgot who the heck I am, again, Dillon Mitchell, professional electrical engineer. I've done $1 billion worth of construction, licensed in now 16, call it 17 states. And I built automation solutions in Revit. So Cowabunga Studios, we automate your processes in Revit for all electrical, right? Automating receptacles, lighting, power distribution, fire alarm systems, data devices, all that kind of good stuff for your Revit models. And then Vertical Design Services is our arm to serve the electrical contractor. We do that through speed, detailed drawings for fabrication, and then our relationships. Those are our three pillars in vertical design services. So that's who I am, what we do. And today we're going to talk about the hiring process. So we've been going through this here frequently. I've hired a handful of people in the last 3 months. And with that, it's probably one of the hardest decisions that you're going to make. It's one of the toughest things that you're going to do. But at the end of the day, people is what run the business. It's what runs the world. And it's how we all basically go through life, is knowing people, helping people out. And hiring is one of the biggest things you're going to do for yourself and your company. So when we talk about hiring, there's a few things that we got to define first. One of those is, what do you want? What is the criteria that you're looking for in the person that you're going to hire? Now, some of the time you're going to be able to work with the person before you ultimately hire them. That's awesome. Most of the time it's not. It's what you hear, what they tell you, maybe some work samples, resume, whatever, and you're just kind of going to go with it, right? But first is define the criteria. What do you need? What are they going to do? What are the deliverables? What does that look like? If you can kind of agree on those kind of basic things, then you've got a good start to a working relationship. From there, you'll kind of just see how things go, right? You're going to adjust, make sure that criteria is defined along the way, and go from there. But here's how most job postings ultimately read. I want a senior electrical engineer with 15 years of experience, knows everything under the sun about electrical code. They're an awesome engineer with a great personality. They can win a ton of work, and they really don't want to get paid all that much. They're pretty cheap. They can write proposals. They can sell. They can basically do my job, and I can go and sit on the beach forever and have them run the company and get paid to do it. Right, that's basically what these job postings ultimately look like. And if you really think about it that way, it's pretty comical, right? You're looking for a unicorn. And where do you find unicorns? Well, at the unicorn farm, obviously. And those unicorns are obviously clearly mythical creatures. And the mythical creatures exist at the mythical unicorn farm. But what do you do to that unicorn? Do you put a harness on them? Do you put a saddle on them? Do you put a bit in their mouth and hold them back from doing the things that they really are born to do and do their unicorn thing, right? These is how these job postings are listed. That's how they're put out there, is I want someone to do everything for me and get paid nothing to do it. You're just out of your mind, batshit crazy if you think that's a reality. So what is realistic? Ultimately, what's realistic in hiring is breaking it down to, do you want somebody who's senior, who's been at this for a while and can do the job without a lot of supervision? Or do you want someone green and you have a training process to bring them in? If you want to talk about training, you should go to the last episode and go through everything that we talked about in training and onboarding and recruiting and retaining people. So in the hiring process, you got to have a training program outlined. You got to kind of have what their roadmap looks like for you and for the firm. But at the end of the day, having clear expectations of who they are, what they're going to do, why they're going to do it, what mission you're on, what you're here for, what your purpose is, all that's super important. Because again, at the end of the day, hiring is just one of the hardest things that you're going to do, right? You're judging people without work product. You're not sure if they're if your onboarding process is good, you're not sure if it's them, if it's you, hopefully you're taking responsibility for the people that you hire. Ultimately, it is your fault, your problem. Maybe you're not taking the time to train them, to reinforce it. Maybe you're not setting clear expectations. Maybe you're not giving them time to ramp up and be a productive member of the team, right? Some of this, if you got a green guy out of engineering school, they're not going to be productive immediately. They don't know anything, and you got to teach them all the stuff to be a productive member of the team. That's just how it goes. So you got to make sure that you set aside time or have somebody on your team who's effectively like a master trainer. You can train your team to do the work, train that person to design systems, to design lighting, to design power systems, to do arc flash studies, whatever it's going to be for you and your team, whatever you're going to have them do, you got to make sure that it's clearly defined, and you give them one thing at a time. Most people can't handle everything being thrown at them instantaneously. So break it down, give them one task, one specific thing, let them become good at it, give them a couple months to, again, do that type of work over and over and over and over again till they become proficient. Then you can move them on to the next thing. Again, over and over and over and over again. It's all about repetitions, letting them become really good, really proficient at what they do, and then moving on to the next. And traditionally, hiring's about the only way that you're going to grow your business, right? You had overhead, you had salary, you had expenses, you had equipment, you had rent, right? If you're growing your office space, computers, software licenses, everything else that you have to do to grow, train, and develop talent. It all comes with a cost, especially in a ramp period, right? If you're hiring a new guy right out of school, usually it takes about a year for them to be like really a super productive member of the team. You might be able to get it down to like 6 months, but for only some certain things. And even then, you're still going to have to coach and train them. So that's why, again, for getting your professional engineering license, it takes 4 years from the time you graduate with your EIT or engineering training certificate till your PE in 4 years, right? That's basically the time it takes to go from apprentice to somebody that knows what they're doing. It's the same in the trades, right? 4 or 5 years, whether you're coming in as a apprentice electrician to, you get your journeyman's card, and then master electrician's about 10 years. So again, it's the same kind of time frame in engineering as it is in the trades, as it is in pretty much any other business, right? A year you can become pretty proficient, do projects on your own, be good at it. Within 4 years, you're running jobs, being a project manager, doing all sorts of good stuff. And then, within 10 years, maybe you're running a division, a department, big work, whatever that is for you and your firm. That's kind of the pathway. But you got to have good systems and processes of how to train them, how to make sure they're doing what's the standard for your company, or again, apprentice electrician in the field, the National Electric Code, right? All those things need to come into play. So in learning how to go about doing all of these things, it just takes a good system and process to put in place. The types of people you're looking for, where to find them. Again, not the unicorn farm. You're looking to build people up, right? You're not plucking them off trees. You're not getting them at the mythical unicorn farm. You're going and training these people, pouring into them, developing them. And yeah, some people are going to leave. That's just life, right? Life circumstances happen. They have a kid, they get married, they move away. They don't want to work for you anymore for whatever reason. They want to go start their own thing, right? People have different life circumstances, and that doesn't mean that you stop pouring into people, right? We develop people, we train people, we make them better, and we leave them with a good impression of us and who we are. Because you never know, people do come back. Every firm that's been around long enough has some boomerangs that leave, go and do their thing, and then come back again. That even happens in towns or places that you live, right? You live somewhere, you go off to school, you come back. It happens everywhere. So we want to make sure that we treat people well and give them a place to come back to. So at the end of the day, it's giving you, your firm, and everybody else a great reputation. So with this, automation at the end of the day is going to be one of these things to help you hire people, It's going to help you train them. Again, nobody likes doing grunt work. Nobody likes doing tedious, repetitive tasks. So if you use some automation tools to allow you to train them better, allows you to hire people, attract them, right? They're more excited to come and work for you rather than sitting in a cube and just clicking away to place all these elements in a Revit model. So starting to use automation tools, starting to use technology, starting to get rid of that tedious task within your firm, right? Meeting scheduling, using other AI tools to help with your spelling, grammar, writing. A lot of those things can really help boost productivity. It can cut down on those tedious tasks, and it just helps everybody be a little more creative, hopefully. Again, we still want to use our brains at the end of the day for what we do, but using these tools as an augmentation to our core tasks really helps people to come into your firm, want to work, want to be productive, and again, stay with you for a while. So retention is also key in everything that we do. If you want to find out more, get this like full outline basically of what I talked about here today, you can DM me hiring to get my playbook on hiring, how to think about this, right? You got to fill in the playbook for each of your specific areas, but I'll give you the full outline of what we use in hiring people, and I'll send you the Google Doc link for all of this. So DM me hiring to get this playbook, and love to help you guys out. So without further ado, guys, today we talked about hiring processes, why it's important to look for the right people, define the criteria, make them and set them up for success within your firm so that at the end of the day, they're successful, you're successful, they stay with you for a long time, and everybody wins. That's what we want, win-win scenarios. So DM me hiring to get my playbook. You can click the links below. Just hit me up on LinkedIn and DM me hiring. Without further ado, this is this episode of the Construction Corner podcast. Until next time.